What is up, guys? Trust back here with another video. Today we're going to be doing the AFC West record predictions for the 2021-2022 NFL season.
You know it, ladies and gents. We're here. We're breaking it down. We're giving you the analysis. We're giving you the rundown, the predictions, all of that for the upcoming NFL season. Gavin, let's get us started
All
in
right,
the predictions.
so we're going to start with the Chiefs, then work our way down to the Chargers, Raiders, and then the Broncos last. We're going to do two games that we highlight for the season, whether that's wins, losses, whatever. But first team we're going to highlight, of course, is the Kansas City Chiefs. I have them going 16-1, just barely losing off on the undefeated season. I don't know what I was about to say. Lossless season. That sounds so weird. Um, but 16-1 does not sound right in my brain. But 16-1 is what they might go, and what I'm guessing they will go. Two highlights I have of their season: losing Week 9 against the Packers. I don't think A Rod is there. He might be, but if he isn't, my thought is that the Chiefs expect that the Packers suck without A Rod, and then underestimate their opponent. The Ravens do it a lot, especially in the playoffs, because they're idiots and they like go out drinking. I think they did that like the week before the Titans game. That's not here or there. That's like 2 years ago too. But I think they're gonna lose, even though they're home. I think they're gonna lose to the Packers. I think that defense of the Packers is too good for them. I mean, not really, but
Kevin
they
King,
just
just too good.
yeah, Kevin King's too good.
Mahomes can't.
But
He can't find Tyreek when.
they just can't see it coming and they get beat. And then another highlight I would have is Week 15. I think this is a really close matchup between the Chiefs and the Chargers. I think one's closer than the first time that they play, which is in Week 3. I think the Chargers are a lot better at this point. I think Justin Herbert is a stud. I think he's amazing, as you can see with my predictions for the Chargers. But I think this game's down to the wire in Los Angeles, yeah. Um, and probably the best stadium in the NFL, or at least in my opinion. I think this is down to the wire, maybe one score, like 7 points, 3 points, 6 points, something in that range would be something to expect in Week 15. Adrian, what are your calls for the Chiefs season?
Okay, I had the Chiefs going 14-3, which I think is a pretty. I mean, obviously respectable record. I think it's a pretty logical one too. I would say them taking 3 losses, 2 of them being divisional games, and then one of them being out of conference game. I'd like to highlight one of those divisional games first, and that will be the game against the Las Vegas Raiders, which is in Week 10. The Raiders are the home team playing in Las Vegas, and divisional games are completely different. And I want to say I think the Raiders beat the Chiefs last year.
I think they did too. I'm
Yeah,
not
I think they
sure.
beat them. I think they pulled off the
Four
upset,
was like really, really
and
close. And then the
I
second
think they're
time,
gonna
right?
do it
Oh,
again.
sorry.
Yeah.
The
No,
second
no,
time was the
continue.
meme creator of like Derek Carr sitting on the bench. I'm pretty sure where he what's the dude that he looked like? I don't know, but you can continue.
But yeah, I see the Raiders taking the W there against the Chiefs. And then I'd also like to highlight. I know Gavin he highlighted it too, but the Packers game I'd like to highlight it only because I am throwing that out there. If Aaron Rodgers is still in Green Bay, if he's not there, I expect the Chiefs to take the win there, making them 15-2. But if he is still there, I think the out of conference game is going to result in Aaron Rodgers tearing up the Chiefs and Mahomes failing to outscore Aaron Rodgers and the scary Green Bay offense.
So the next team we're going to highlight is the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. That sounds so weird to me. For whatever reason, they've been in Los Angeles for a year or two. But I have them going 11-6. Adrian has them going, I think 9-8, 9-8. Yeah. Two games to highlight from the season. I'm going to highlight Week 1 right off the bat. I think the football team beats the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers are ready yet in Week 1. I mean, yeah, the off season, yeah, all that. But I think the Chargers just need a little bit of time to get set into the season, like a lot of teams do. But I think the football team's more ready. I think they got some more veterans on that team, and I think they pull out the dub. Especially with a bunch of Chargers players coming back from injury in Week 1. I think Derwin James, and there's probably somebody else just slipping under my mind right now.
Joey
Coming
Bosa.
back, Joey Bosa. Yeah, that's exactly what I was
I don't
thinking
know if he's
of.
coming back, but I know he was hurt last year.
Yeah. Um, but there's definitely some people coming back or that were off injured last year and maybe weren't playing 100%. And I think the football team brings in the first dub of the in Week 1. And then I would like to highlight Week 12. This is a really close matchup between the Broncos and the Chargers, especially the Broncos coming off the bye. I think the Chargers are better than the Broncos, and I think Drew Lock is and maybe is starting at this point. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater's playing. I'm not really sure. This one's going to be interesting, but I think this is maybe 1 to 2 score game. The Chargers barely pull out the dub, maybe in the fourth quarter, or maybe the Broncos try to pull in like a fourth quarter comeback and just barely don't make it in a very, very close game in Denver. Adrian, what are your highlights for the Charger season?
I have the Chargers going 9-8. A year removed from a 7-9 season, which is not too hot, not too great. But I think that they're gonna have a better season this year. Progression from Justin Herbert, brand new coach. Overall progression from a young team. Keenan Allen connection growing, and I think that the Chargers are going to have an okay season. Might sneak into the playoffs, might not sneak into the playoffs. We can actually take a look at the playoff picture we have set for the AFC if you want after this, just because now we'll see the rankings for other teams.
True.
But the two games I want to highlight for the Chargers are going to be look real quick. I would say week 5, Chargers Browns. I think the Browns are an okay team, but I think they're going to have enough to beat the Chargers, even in Los Angeles. I think that'll be a close game. I think it'll actually be an interesting game, kind of fun game, only because, in a way, I kind of see Justin Herbert and Baker Mayfield being slightly similar quarterback-wise. And I think they'll be, and they have, like, I don't know, the weapons around both those guys. Justin Herbert's got Keenan Allen, Big Mike Williams. The Browns have Odell, Jarvis. So I think that'll be a fun game to watch. Multiple weapons coming out. But I think the Browns will end up picking the W. And then I'd like to also highlight the very next game, Chargers-Ravens. Our very own Ravens going against the Chargers. I think that will be a fun game also. Anytime Lamar plays a team, I mean, he's going to be able to get revenge potentially. That's what I think it will happen. I mean, if you guys remember,
a couple years
Lamar's
ago,
rookie
wild
year,
card,
wild card, choked against the Chargers after beating them, I think, 2 weeks before. First chance to get revenge now since then. And I think they will end up getting it. Lamar's come a long way. Chargers have come a long way too, though. Brand new quarterback from Phillip Rivers to Herbert. But I think it'll be a fun game, clash of two young quarterbacks who will rule the NFL for years to come. I do see the Ravens and Lamar Jackson coming out on top of that matchup.
The next team.
Final score 28-24. Book it.
Okay. Real aggressive there. Next team we're going to highlight is the Raiders, who he has them going 8-9. I have them going 6-11. Yeah, 6-11. Reverse of the Chargers for the season. 2 games to highlight for the Raiders. I don't think they're going to be too good this year, but I don't think it's going to be because they have a bad team. I don't know. I just don't really see them winning many games this season against the people that they're playing against. I think the Cowboys are better than them. That's the first game I'm going to highlight in Week 12. Cowboys. I think Dak Prescott's back into 90%, good 90. I don't know, because that injury was gruesome, man. He might be back out at this point because that was horrible. Be full 100% for maybe another year or at least more than that. But I think the Cowboys pull out the dub in that game. 2 scores maybe. I don't think it's gonna be 3 scores, but maybe 10, 14 points you could expect there. And then another highlight I'd have to say would be Week 5. The Raiders beat the Bears. I think Derek Carr is way more better than what people expect. I think he's pretty solid. I don't think he's great, but I think he's pretty average, maybe a little above average. That good team, Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs, and Pound won the Bears. And even though the Bears have Khalil Mack, even though they have all these different great playmakers on the defense, Team Hicks, thinking of one of their corners, and I can't think of his name right now, but
Jalen Johnson.
That is
Kendall Fuller.
Kendall Fuller is who I was thinking of. Good job.
No. Kyle Fuller, my bad.
That's crap,
yeah,
man.
Kendall's.
Yeah. I mixed them up too. Kendall was on the Chiefs, right? Crap.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
He's the one with the with the dreads, the
Oh yeah, he does
braids.
have the dreads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the Raiders are just better than the Bears, maybe a little bit more veteran, more skilled than the Bears, and they pull out this win in Week 5. Adrian, what are your highlights for the Vegas Raiders?
I'll just start out. Me personally, I think you are severely underrating the Raiders.
I know, I know, I know.
They ransacked their O line, which is rough in a way, but the Raiders did finish 8-8 last year, and they were on the path to the playoffs.
Then the
Make sure we
Dolphins
don't forget
happened.
that right there.
Wait.
Eight and
It
eight,
was it's magic.
yeah, like whack game.
My gosh,
While he was getting face mask,
bro,
chucking the ball
that was
deep. What a
nasty,
guy!
dude.
That was magic.
Was.
But yeah, I think they're being underrated here. I had them going 8-9, basically a repeat of 8-8, just one more loss. And then my key matchups for this one, I'm gonna say Week 13 football team. Fitzmagic strikes again against the Raiders. Speaking of him, I think they'll pull that game out there. I think that's another team that'll get underrated by a lot of people is the football team, considering how good they finished out last year, even made the playoffs. I know it was a weak division. Still, Taylor Heineke looked impressive. Now it's Fitzmagic time, though, in Washington. Terry McLaurin getting better. The emergence of Antonio Gibson. Solid team there. Chase Young, insane defensive front line. And I think the Raiders will fall victim to that right there. Derek Carr getting sacked 5+ times. That's another
My
wild prediction
goodness,
for that
bro.
game right there. And then the second matchup is going to be a fun game. Week 3. Uh, yeah, week
A
3 against the
Dolphins Raiders
Dolphins. Yeah,
rematch. Oh man.
revenge. Can they get their revenge? I think they do not
No.
get the revenge. Tua will have some offseason improvement, I do believe, and I think that he will be able to, kick the Raiders off to a bad start, 0-3. That's what I have them to kick off the season. They'll find their midseason form eventually when head coach John Gruden gets angry with
Gruden
them.
Grinders.
Yeah, but that's that for the Las Vegas Raiders for me. I think they're a solid team. I think they could do better than 8-9. I do not see them doing worse than 8-9. I could see them going like 10-7 potentially.
I don't know.
Maybe 9-8.
I'm
But
definitely underrating the Raiders.
that's what I'm seeing for now.
To prove Adrian's point a little bit, I'm definitely underrating the Raiders, and I know that you guys are definitely
And
flaming me in the
we're gonna have some
comments.
Raider fans come in the
Yeah, I
comments.
know, right?
I'm gonna put this video in like the Raiders fans subreddit and just have them come flame you.
Dude, 6-11 is low, and I'm sorry. There's just some games I don't know what to pick differently, and I was thinking about it before the vid. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be different in real life, but I don't know. I'm definitely underrating the Raiders. Coming up with the Broncos, though, I have them going 4-13. Are we underrating the Broncos too? I don't know, but I think Drew
And
Lock make or break season. I think he breaks. Just just saying it. Well, maybe not breaks, but like half break, half not. Maybe gets benched like week 11 on his bye week. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Teddy Bridgewater. We see a little bit of that at the beginning of the season. Adrian was talking about that right before the vid. Although I don't think so. But the games I'm going to highlight for their season is going to be week 3 against the Jets. I think Zach Wilson and the young Jets are going to grab a dub against the Broncos in Mile High, which should be really interesting for Zach Wilson being QB. If he isn't starting, he definitely should be. I don't know who
I
their
mean, who
backup
would start?
is. Yeah, exactly. He definitely should be starting. But going to be an interesting game. Going to be a good game. I think Von Miller's going to have a good day, without a doubt. Um, but going to be a close game, down to the wire. Jets pull out the dub. Another game I'm going to highlight is going to be. Let's highlight Week 9, another Cowboys game. I think the Broncos just aren't good enough to beat the Cowboys. I think Zeke's just gonna eat. Um, that was very cringe, but I think the Cowboys are just too good. I think Dak Prescott, even if he's 90%, 80%, whatever, I think he's just better than Drew Lock. I don't think Drew Lock's that good. Maybe average, probably below average or worse, with the amount of picks he throws and tested balls he throws. Although some of his receivers kind of help him out with that. 4-13 is my final record for them. It's going to be an interesting year for the Broncos.
I had the Broncos going 3-14. I think they're not that bad of a team, but like I don't know, they just don't. They don't have that X factor feel. Like there's no players that really stand out to me.
Yeah.
Except for Cortland Sutton's coming back, which I think will help them. And I think Drew Lock isn't gonna have that bad of a season. I think he'll be able to stick around because he'll do good. He'll do decent enough. But I feel like the team around him is just not. The supporting cast isn't exactly there yet, and I think they know that. I could see them doing better than 3-14. I could see them even boasting, freaking popping off and going 6 and what would that be, 6-11? Yeah. But I don't know. For me right now, at this point, I might think on a bit and then change how I feel. But right now, I don't know. 3-14 sounds pretty realistic to me because they just don't have that ring. I'd like to highlight though the Eagles game. I do think they take the dub against the Eagles. I don't know if it'll be Jalen Hurts or if it'll be your boy, the elite GOAT Joe Flacco.
Oh my God. MVP.
But I think the Broncos will end up getting a win in that. I think it'll be a good game. I mean, not a good game because it'll be probably like a mistake-laden game. Tons of mistakes. Who makes the least amount of mistakes, that person wins the game. And I like to highlight also Broncos over Lions, two bottom-of-the-barrel teams. Two poverty franchises.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to tank, bro. I'm telling you right now. I think the Lions are just going to meaningfully tank this season. Okay, sorry.
Dan Campbell, eat the kneecaps. The Lions will not be eating the kneecaps of the Broncos. I think the Broncos will get a W there. 3-14. I think could be better, but right now my initial opinion is just 3-14. That's that though.
And that's the AFC West. To show what Adrian was talking about, I'm not really sure how to show the AFC ranks and stuff, but you can show like the number ranks. I'm trying to look for a playoff bracket, but I think that doesn't show until we finish the NFC, or at least part of the NFCs, like NFC North and then NFC South. Maybe it shows after 2, but I can tell you that these are our ranks. This is Adrian's ranks here. Both should be number 1 is the Chiefs, but here are my ranks. You guys can see people that made the playoffs are, of course,
who do I have being the worst in the NFL?
Well, in the AFC, Broncos? You mean? It's the Broncos, yeah. Jets are right behind them, then the Texans, and then the Bengals. Nice. And then for me, I have the Jets, and then I have Texans, Jags, Bengals, Broncos, Raiders. Yes, I am underrating the Raiders. I am sorry, Raiders fans. But that's going to be it for the video.
Raiders fans, grill him.
Yes, please do in the comments.
Kill him, Raiders fans.
Okay, I'm still thinking about what I want to change, man. I just don't know what to. I don't know what to. Okay, you might see something different in the next video where I change one from the NFC games. I don't know. It's wild to me, but we'll see you guys next time when we do the NFC North.
Yes, the AFC is done, guys. If you haven't seen the rest of the divisions, check them out now. Some good stuff in there. Feel free to debate us. Feel free to go at us in the comments. We've already had some of those comments, which was actually very nice. Yeah, no feelings hurt. No
we love
anything.
Talking to you guys and conversing with you guys on what you guys think. I know we had a guy talking about the Steelers. I know we had a guy talking about the Browns, and we love doing that. So drop your opinion in the comments. If you think the Raiders are going to be 16-1 next season, let me know. I mean, that's probably unrealistic.
That's your opinion,
but
it's all fair game.
Yeah.
And remember, these also opinions, they are also taken at a very early time, and not super early, but we haven't actually seen any games, any preseasons, any even OTA footage for the most part.
Yeah.
So it is more of a raw feel, more on the guess side than the prediction side, if that makes sense.
True.
So we might be changing our mind from now until the coming season, but for now, that's what we have. If you guys disagree, let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, though. Check out the other videos of this playlist, of this series. Unless Gavin has anything else to say, that'll be it from here.
Peace out, boys.